This is the Jellied Hill Public House in the East End of London. This is a hard, grim, miserable place. But perhaps not that miserable. He would be a brave person indeed who ventured here from the outside world. Or a fool. Take your pick.
Would you be wanting a drink, Airy?
I suppose so.
Gentleman here wants a lemonade! That's a new one, and no mistake.
A customer's a customer, girls, and this is obviously a respectable gent. One lemonade coming up.
That's Millie, and I'm Tilly.
Oh, pleased to meet you. My name's Edgar Poppins.
Here's your lemonade, Edgar. That'll be 4 pence.
How about we take your case, Edgar? We'll look after it behind the bar.
No, that won't be necessary, thank you.
By the looks of you, you're not from around here, are you?
No, I live some distance away. I came here on a horse-drawn carriage. But I have an appointment. A business meeting.
We don't get many of those in here.
I don't suppose you do. Perhaps you can help me. I'm supposed to be meeting, Mr. Tibbins? You know him?
In a manner of means.
Is he a friend of yours?
Oh, no. I wouldn't say that. What time is your appointment?
8 o'clock. Oh, it's about that time now. He's late. By exactly 25 seconds. Do you think it's got a bit chilly in here?
Here, is you by any chance Mr. Edgar Poppin?
I am.
I've got a message for you. From a gent.
Poppin, we need to discuss our business privately. Meet me in Gaslight Alley forthwith. And where is Gaslight Alley?
Just around the corner.
Very well, young fellow.
Well, the Jellied Hill might seem a cheerful enough place, in a certain light, but it was still no place for a woman on her own, and definitely no place for a lady.
Do you mind?
And, by a strange coincidence, here comes a woman on her own.
What strange place is this? What threatening shadows do I see about me? Ah!
They ain't no shadows, lovey. That's what we call gloom. We've got lots of gloom down here. Maybe not that much gloom.
Pardon me for saying so, madam, but this part of London isn't for a respectable woman on her own, like yourself.
Well, why not?
It could be the smell. It could be the customers. It could be the smell of the customers. It could be the rats. And they're only little ones. So why are you here?
I have a grave problem. I have lost my husband.
Is that a problem? Careless, but not a problem, surely. Get yourself a new one. I always do. But not from in here. Right, not your story. Besides, being a widow ain't much fun. Don't do for me. I don't suit black.
You don't understand. He isn't lost dead. He's lost. I must find him.
And what makes you think he's in a place like this?
I'd rather not say, but I just know that he came here. Oh, please, everyone, I beg of you, won't you help me?
No!
But I am a poor and helpless woman. See, I'm crying. In fact, I'm crying helplessly. Won't you help me? Or you? Or you?
They don't like outsiders, dearie. They don't like those snooping.
Snooping on what?
You don't want to know.
Look, sweetheart, if you want us to help you, you gotta give us something to go on.
I have a photograph. Look.
Oh yes, he was in here. Edgar Poppin by name. Good looking bloke.
He won't be so good looking now. Not if he's been down here and disappeared.
Of course, some of the people who disappear do turn up again.
Usually bits in the river. But there is a bright side.
Is there?
Of course not. I'm just trying to cheer you up. Take my word for it. He's a goner. Rogues last from ear to ear, if I'm not mistaken.
Serves him right. This is no place for tops.
Even lady tops like yourself. Take some advice here. Go west.
No, I must stay. I must find the man who was to meet here. I must find Mr. Tibbins.
Mr. Tibbins?
Yes, does anyone know him?
No!
You won't get any help here, Mrs. Poppin. That's for certain.
Then where?
Look, my mom works as a housekeeper for a bloke who might be able to help you. Try him. He's in West. Your part of town.
221B Baker Street, London. Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I guess it's worth a try. I have nothing else to lose!
That's it. Elementary. Soon I'll have the hang of it. Almost. Almost. That one could almost be there. What do you think, Watson? Watson!
What's that?
My violin. Getting better, don't you think?
Honest answer required?
Certainly not. Flatter me.
Then it sounds wonderful.
That's the ticket. Anything interesting happening in the newspaper?
Yes, look at this. Great Emerald of Alcazar, the most famous jewel in the entire world, is being shown in the showrooms of Ghibli and Greenstock, jewels to the nobility. It is being put up for auction by its owner, Sheikh Ahmed El Akbar, Emir of Alcazar. He's selling it to raise money to build a palace for his latest wife.
Best not having a wife, Watson. Jolly expensive. As for having more than one, well, ruinous.
There's a picture in here. It's a beautiful piece.
What, the wife or the emerald?
Emerald.
just a shiny trinket. This so-called beauty of such items means nothing to a keen scientific mind such as my own.
Just a minute! Look here in the late news section. Great Emerald of Alcazar stolen from West End jewelers. Gosh, that didn't last long, did it?
Enter. Yes, Miss Hudson.
Sorry to bother you, gents, but there's a lady downstairs. She's in an awful state. Says she has to see you.
What's the problem?
She's got a note.
Oh, good. That's more than Holmes here's managed.
Read it, Watson. I feel a headache coming on.
Seems to be a missing persons case.
Not sure if I'm looking for a new case at the moment. What say you, Watson?
What else will you be doing with your spare time?
I'd be practicing my violin, of course.
Send the poor woman up immediately, Miss Hudson. Come in, please. Please, you take a seat. And you will be Miss Harry Poppins of Cohen. And you mislaid your husband. That would be Edward.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Watson, get the woman to the point!
Now, have you any idea where her husband might be? Oh, the Jelly Deal Public House.
Low-life East End hostelry. Haunt of vagabonds and ne'er-do-wells. Dangerous spot.
Says she was meeting a chap called Mr. Tibbet.
Tibbins. Means nothing to me. Is she sure this is the name of a cat?
She's sure.
What she needs is a nice cup of tea.
She needs a good slap to bring her around.
Mr. Holmes will be happy to take the case on.
I am sure Mr. Holmes will not be the least bit happy to take this case on. The woman's obviously barking mad, highly strung. That constant wailing probably drove the plummet out in the first place.
Oh, come on, Holmes. She did seem rather upset.
Oh, I would have never guessed. You know, Watson, one day you may become as great a detective as I am. No, I must stay here and rest. I won't waste my genius on some woman who can't string two words together.
Oh, I did hear her mention 2 words in between the sobs.
And what were they?
Substantial and reward.
Then we must away. No time to lose. Come on, Watson, shake us out, fella. Damsel in distress and all that. Come along.
Miss Hudson,
Yes, Dr. Watson?
that's violin in the bin.
Again. He keeps taking it out.
Then pay someone to put it in somebody else's bin a long way from here. And get them to burn it or to throw it away.
Yes, Dr. Watson.
Watson!
Coming, Holmes, coming.
I tell you, Watson, that woman is completely insane.
Let's just get this over with. What's the reward?
Fine.
Get away, you vile little things! What are they?
They are called urchins, Watson. Young criminals. Mostly pickpockets. And fairly harmless.
Don't be so sure, mister. We might be violent.
I say! Do you know to whom we're speaking to, my lad? A couple of hawks who need their pockets picking. We want
cheeky little wench. I'm not Miss Marple.
I am Dr. John Watson, a respectable physician. Does that give you a clue?
If you're Dr. Watson, then you must be Mr. Holmes.
I must.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes?
The same.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes of Baker Street?
Indeed.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes of 221B Baker Street?
Yes.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes of 221B Baker Street, London?
Is there more than one?
I hope not. We're not saying all that again.
Then it must be me.
I've heard you're a bit, loopy. A slight exaggeration.
We prefer the term eccentric genius. Don't we, Watson?
If you say so.
Are you two having a night out? A moonlit stroll?
What? Out here? What do you think we are? Loopy?
Then what are you doing in these parts?
Now, then you may be able to assist us.
Even though we're grubby and disgusting?
Quite possible. We are on the hunt for a criminal mastermind.
This is what one might call his manner. Is it Slasher McGee?
Is it Bruiser Bannister? Is it Old Granny Moore, the bag lady?
What's criminal about being a bad lady?
They're other people's bags.
Well, it's none of them.
No, it's some chap called Mr. Tibbets. There's been a lot of folk asking for Mr. Tibbets lately.
And did any of them find him?
I reckon one of them did. Let's grab him, lads. We found him down by the river. He should have never come down here.
We told him.
Oh, you know this fellow?
You sure?
Oh, yes. He had his missus down here looking for it. Looks better in his photograph.
I say, Watson, is he...
I rather think so.
Can't you do any better than that?
Prefer not to get too close. He's been in the river, you know.
I'm sure the rats didn't mind.
We'll show you what. It's the law. Better scamper. We don't want to be talking to no coppers.
Hello. What's going on here, then? Not much by the looks of it, lads. False alarm. I'll be bound. Last one back to the Nick is a stinky poo.
Hang on, Sarge. There's a couple of suspicious-looking types hanging about in the shadows.
I say, don't you recognize us?
Can't say that I do. Have I arrested you before?
No, and you're not going to now. We're not criminals, you fool.
I am Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
On Tuesday will be Baker Street, London, London West 1, telephone London 265-388, email holmeswatson@bakerstreet.com, website www.elementarymydearwatson.net, Twitter handle.
I am he. Are you a fan?
Not really.
They say you're loopy. Must be hanging around here in the middle of the night.
Holmes is in the middle of solving a case.
And what might be the nature of that?
I'd rather not say at the moment. Who is your superior officer?
Inspector Lestrade. He's on his way.
This somewhere safe, lad. Senior officer's clerk.
Hello, Lestrade. My old friend.
My word, it's Sherlock Holmes. Mr. Sherlock Holmes at 221B Baker Street. Mr. Sherlock Holmes at 221B Baker Street, London.
We've done all that already, old chap.
Ah, right you are, Dr. Watson. I hope this is all worthwhile. I have had to interrupt a very high-profile case to come down here. There's a report of a body being found, but after 30 years in the force, I know a body when I see one, and I do not see one.
Apart from this one,
God heavens, Mr. Holmes! You have the eyes of an eagle. Not nice. Not nice at all.
It was Miss Hurton who spotted him, Inspector.
It worried me. I didn't do nothing. Let me go. It worried me.
Now, I didn't say it were, lad. I didn't say it was. Do you have any idea who this bloke is?
His name is Poppin. Edgar Poppin.
Poppin? Poppin. That name sounds so familiar. I just can't quite put my finger on it. It'll come to me.
This appears to be the chap that Holmes and I are looking for.
Well, it seems you've found him. No need for your powers of genius tonight.
maybe not. But I'll wager there's more to this. That meets the eye.
Well, I won't. We'll have this all sorted out in a jiffy without your help, Mr. Holmes. Back at the yard, they're very keen on deduction. Process of elimination is the key. I've taken a clinic. All we have to do is investigate the scene of the crime, the state of the victim, and possible motive. He was an outsider. That'll do.
Well,
It was Colonel Mustard in the library with the candlestick.
No, it wasn't.
No? Well, that's our stuff. I'll continue my investigation elsewhere.
Tell me, Lestrade, what was this high-profile case you were so reluctant to leave?
Robbery, Mr. Holmes. Robbery. The theft of the great Emerald of Alcazar. Top case, top investigating officer. And they picked the right man. Because nothing gets past me, Mr. Holmes. Nothing! Now, I have investigating to do. Good day to you.
Peter, Paul, Patrick, Petula, Primrose, Percival, Pippi, Peggy, Pierce, Pongo, Penelope, Pocahontas, and...
Pixie!
That's right, Pixie. That makes 13. 13 children without a father. And now I am a poor widow!
Not too poor, I hope.
it's a tragedy, dear lady. A great tragedy.
I would like to intrude, madam. But can we say that the body has now been formally identified?
Oh yes, it is Edgar. And you're sure he's dead?
Oh yes, quite dead.
Try not to take on so, my good woman. It is a fact that death is an inescapable side effect of being a murder victim. Unfortunate, but there it is. Do you notice anything different about your husband?
Apart from being dead,
Apart from being dead.
he does not have his briefcase. He always had his briefcase. He was very particular about it. You could hardly imagine him ever letting go of it.
Any sign of the briefcase, Sergeant?
Afraid not. Probably washed down the river.
Tell me, what might have been in your husband's briefcase?
I'd rather not say.
I don't suppose he was in the jewelry trade by any chance.
Well, what makes you say that?
He has soft hands. He's unused to hard work.
You could be a camp counselor.
There's also, upon his jacket, a smudge of what appears to be. It is hypochlorite phosphilicate, a substance used almost solely in the polishing of precious gems. That he also carries a copy of Jeweler's Weekly in his pocket.
Now look at what you've done.
It's true what they say about you, Mr. Holmes.
What, about him being loopy?
No, that you are a genius. My husband is, well, was a jeweler. He worked at deeply green south of Gerard Street.
Where the great Emerald of Alcazar was.
Boy, was Nick. Sounds like an inside job to me.
But even I can tell could not have been taken by your husband. A wonderful father and a loving husband to 13 children. Oh yeah, Pixie. But even I can tell it wasn't taken by you or your husband. You both are as honest as the day is long.
Now look at what you've done!
It grieves me to say, Dr. Watson, that you are wrong. My husband did take the apple. He was a decent man, a good husband, and a wonderful father, but he was also a thief. The temptation was too great for a man with,
13 children to feed.
yes, 13 children to feed. He stole it.
But what about this Tibbet?
Edgar was going to sell it to him. Mr. Tibbets was offering so much money that we would have been able to disappear and start a new life.
That would be quite a challenge. Disappearing with 13 children.
Oh, we weren't going to take them. I was going to leave them at their grandmother's for the weekend and not come back to them.
Mom!
But it won't happen now!
You know what? This chap had 13 children, the youngest of whom is called Pixie Cohen. He had a wife that would wail all the time and would abandon those children at the drop of a hat. I'm beginning to think this could be suicide.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, I see a piece of paper in my husband's pocket. Should I?
By all means, it's your husband. There you are, Watson. A suicide note.
And indeed, it may well be a last letter from a loving husband to his devoted wife. A letter carrying words of care and affection, words of comfort in deep sorrow, words of regret, words to give strength, words that only have true meaning for two hearts as one.
No, it's better than that. It's his life insurance policy. I'm going to be rich. Not as rich as if we'd sold the emerald, but I don't have to disappear. I might still leave the children with mother, though. No one can I spend it on first. Rich!
See, Adam? What arrangement did you make for Mr. Pocket?
Oh, him. Well, none. Just throw him back into the river.
I say, Watson, I think you better follow the dear lady.
Why? You found her safety?
No. I fear she'll forget about the reward.
Brilliant! Miss Poppin! Miss Poppin!
I knew the name of Edgar Poe was worked in that boss jewelry shop. He does a runner at exactly the same time the great Emerald of Alcazar goes missing. 2 and 2, Sergeant. It's all about 2 and 2. We didn't need no Mr. Sherlock Holmes to figure that one out, did we?
What we've got now is one Edgar Robin deceased and one Grey Emerald Alcazar still disappeared.
Well, that brings it all down to this mysterious Mr. Hibbins. He's a Ronnie and no mistake. Find Hibbins, and we find murder. And the emerald.
Not now!
God. Has it gone cold out here, or is it just me?
You think we should call Mr. Holmes?
Certainly not! I am the strut of the yard! I have a reputation too, you know! Fingertip search, lads!
We found him, Inspector! On the ends of our fingers!
No! You use them to feel around the scene of the crime! Any clue, however small, could be crucial! Something! What is it?
Excuse me, mister?
Now then, lad! Don't do anything hasty!
Stick the pick in pockets!
No, I found it. You want it as evidence?
Oh, well. I certainly do. I'll take that. How did we miss that?
Because you're a bunch of frauds. I don't reckon you can catch a cold in the med center. You need Mr. Sherlock Holmes to help you out.
Cheeky rogue.
Perhaps we should call Mr. Holmes. He is an expert on firearms.
Oh, you're right. I suppose the call to bigotry is in order after all. Curses.
You know, Holmes, we don't have to be here now. We were only asked to find Edgar and we have. Leave Lestrade to catch Tibbins and to find the emerald.
Now, this case intrigues me. There's more to it that meets the eye. Besides, as I said, all I would be doing at home is practicing my violin.
Carry on then. Any clues, Lestrade?
Well, as it happens, gentlemen, quite a few.
This Tibbins is a cunning swine. There could be some red herrings in that.
Good heavens, Mr. Holmes. How do you do it? You've also found the button.
I can tell that this button comes from a man's garment. A man with average height, right-handed. A chap with a preference for blueberry muffins. Someone with a birthday in November, I'd say.
How do you know all that?
Because it's mine. Came off my jacket earlier. I'll have Miss Hudson sew it back on. Thank you very much.
Oh, and we have a gun.
Ah! You've come to the right place with that. Holmes is an expert.
Actually, it's just a fake. Harmless.
Ah,
Of course, I could be wrong.
Say, Holmes, you seem to have struck the straw.
Only a little bit. And it's all in the interest of science. Tell me, did either of you two see what sort of bullet it was? Oh, pull yourself together, man!
I'm trying to! There's a doctor in the house!
I'm a doctor.
No, a real one!
Ah, the cheek of the man. Anyway, Holmes is right. 'Tis a flesh wound.
With all due respect, Dr. Watson, it is
in your flesh! Sergeant, you better get the short patched up. We'll stay here and see whatever else we can find.
Very well, Mr. Holmes. Relax.
Oh, come on!
Oh, bloody! Ah!
You two gents care for a glass of brandy to warm you up on a chilly night? Wouldn't say no! Who are they from?
A gent in the bar. He's a great fan of yours, Mr. Holmes, but hardly dare approach you on account of your great famousness.
That's very generous of the fellow. Tell him I'll have a word with him once I've sorted all this out. It shouldn't take long.
That would be a great honor for me, sir.
Yes, it would. Now, run along. I'll do autographs later.
What a jolly decent chap! That's fine snipper. Do you suppose it's friends? Holmes? Holmes? Oh, he'll be back in a minute with some brilliance. Or possibly not! Good Lord, he's been drunk! And not by his own hand! You know, if Holmes' hair was being spiked, but you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to realize that.
With Holmes and Watson in a deep sleep, there came upon the scene a dark and sinister presence. It could only be Mr. Tibbins! Yeah, that's what I call one frightening dude. And he's gonna strangle Holmes and Watson.
Oh no, he isn't!
I wondered when... well, no, actually he isn't. He's going to tie them up.
I say, Holmes, we appear to be tied up.
So we do. And that could be a problem. But the tide rises in 29 3/4 minutes.
Oh, we shall drown.
I dare say. But wait. I feel a dark and sinister presence.
I already did that bit.
Well, now it's even darker and sinister.
I say, Holmes, this must be Tibbins. Here say, release us immediately. This is the famous Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I think Tibbins knows exactly who I am. Don't you, Tibbins?
You two know each other?
We certainly do. Something seems odd about this Tibbins, doesn't it?
What's that?
We've never heard of him. I am Sherlock Holmes, the greatest criminal investigative brain in the entire history of the world.
And so modest.
But I've never heard of this Mr. Tibbins. An infamous villain whose very name inspires fear in even this part of the city. And you know why we've never heard of him? Because he does not exist. Mr. Pulpit meets Mr. Tibbins even sounds like a work of fiction, which is exactly what Tibbins is.
But what about his reputation?
Hearsay, rumors spread like wildfire down here. Each exaggeration of his evil deeds is an extreme exaggeration of the one before. Some urchin was probably given a few pennies to start it all off.
Sorry to trouble you, Holmes, but I rather think you're wrong. Tibbins looks real enough to me.
But it is not Tibbins. The most famous jewel in the world would be a natural target for the most famous jewel thief in the world. This is, if I'm not mistaken, not Tibbins, but my old adversary, Countess Louisa de Valparaiso, the Chilean charmer. Come on out, Countess. I know you're in there.
My word, Holmes, you're right! It is the Countess Louisa de Valparaiso! I'm always right, Holmes. Curse you. Yes, it is I, Countess Louisa de Valparaiso, the greatest jewel thief in the whole world. And now, as you so rightly said, I have the greatest jewel.
But you can hardly claim credit for this one. After all, the jewel was stolen by the unfortunate Edgar Pope.
Yes, but it was my plan. Poppin needed the money and had access to the emerald. But now, Poppin is no more, and soon Mr. Tibbins shall be no more. I will disappear without a trace. Just as soon as I have dispatched you two gentlemen, the only people who know the truth.
That's odd, Countess. I never had you down as a murderer.
I'm developing quite a taste for it. Poppin had to go, of course. Greedy little man. Not exactly bright. No offense, Edgar.
Temptation! Good grief! The fellow's still alive!
Excuse me for a moment. So sorry about that. Now, which one of you is first?
You know, there were any number of clues that you were tipping.
Such as?
Even in a place like this, your perfume is unmistakable. Even as Mr. Tibbins, you could not resist wearing it. It was even on the gun.
Very astute. Anything else?
Yes. I happen to know that Countess Louisa de Valparaiso was kicked out of Girl Scouts.
Why?
Because she never learned to tie knots.
Bravo, Holmes!
This is no problem, Mr. Holmes. Now you will simply be murdered standing up instead of sitting down.
Yes, it is. And just as well by the looks of it.
I obviously have everything under control. But thanks anyway. Countess Louise says the emerald about the person.
Well, seize that woman.
Let go. You're nicked.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
The great emerald of Alcazar!
Yes, you will never see it. On the other hand, Sherlock Holmes, you will be seeing me again. We have a score to settle. Until then, farewell.
Well, what are you blokes standing around for? After her!
It's no good, Lestrade. She's too slippery, my hat.
Oh well, Holmes. We can't win them all. What's left?
Heavens! It's Poppin. The Countess should probably stick to robbery. She obviously isn't very good at murder.
Come along, old chap. Let's see if we can get you back to Baker Street.
Better leave all that to Watson. Not much I can do to make a fellow feel better.
Mr. Holmes! Mr. Holmes! I found this. Is it of use?
I'll say, I had one very similar to this back at home. Very similar indeed. Fine instruments, always nice to have a spare. I say, Poppin, do you not borrow the violin?
Oh! hear it again for our cast of Sherlock Holmes. We're gonna go down the line. Everyone's gonna say their name and their bunk number.
Nathan, bunk 18. 26.
Spencer Matthews, SB 2013.
Ethan Savino, bunk 15.
Izzy Salant, CA2K13.
Leanna Finley, ST 2013.
Shay, 120.
Adam Levine, bunk 22.
Leon Alcazar.
Josh Jacobson, bunk 17.
Samuel Schumann, bunk 18.
One more cast member who unfortunately was not able to perform tonight. Levi Kramer in bunk 20. And one last round of applause for our backstage crew and our
Fantastic. Let him hear it one more time. Big round of applause. You know, never ceases to amaze me how just in a few short weeks the cast and the staff are able to put together such an amazing performance, both our first half and our second half. And I want to just take a moment because there's been a family that has been associated with Camp Airy for many years in different roles and different responsibilities and so forth. And we are so pleased that that Sophie is here. Sophie is here this summer with us, and we're hoping that it's many summers to come because you did a fantastic job.